Hello, I'm Gretchen Dixon, a product specialist at SOLABS. In this video, I'd like to give you a high-level overview of our CAPA process app. Here you see I have initiated a CAPA. It's been opened only 0 days, and the process details section shows me the current step, which is initiation and CAPA definition, that it's currently with me, that I opened it today. Each of our processes comes with a flowchart. Let's take a look at the flowchart first so that you can see what this CAPA process app has to offer. I see that the first step is highlighted because I am at step 1. As the workflow goes forward, the active step will be highlighted. At step 1, most of the information is entered, and shortly we'll go over what type of information you'll be able to enter. Once all the information is entered, you can choose to have your CAPA reviewed by peers, by your manager, or if you don't need that, you could even choose yourself as a reviewer to, in effect, skip step 2 so that we'll go right to QA for their evaluation of what you have entered. Whoever you choose for CAPA plan acceptance, those are the reviewers, and the process does come with a role for CAPA reviewers so that you can give that role just to people who would be appropriate to review CAPAs. You can choose one or more. They can send it back to you if they have any suggestions or think something was missing. And when they all approve it, it will go to QA. QA is another role that comes with the process app that you can give to your QA people who, again, would be appropriate to be approving steps in a CAPA. QA will look at everything that you entered at step 1. Again, they're able to send it back to you if they want more information. They can even reject it, which will close the CAPA. If they approve it, it will go to the chosen CAPA owner. That is another role that comes with the process app, and you can give that role just to people who, again, are appropriate to be owning and processing a CAPA, perhaps having completed some training that is specific to the CAPA process. The process will stay with the CAPA owner while all of the related activities to support the CAPA are being completed. The owner can request an extension of the due date if that becomes necessary and get the due date request extension approved by QA. At some point, however, they as the CAPA owner will deem that all of the activities are complete for this CAPA and they will formally enter their CAPA completion. It will then go to QA to review all the information and agree that everything is completed. They can send it back if they need more information or if they think that any tasks were not completed to their satisfaction. They also need to decide whether a verification of effectiveness is appropriate for this CAPA. If they think that it is not, they have to fill in a mandatory justification field. If they do decide that a VOE is appropriate, they can choose who will be responsible for that VOE. And when the VOA is completed, the CAPA can be closed. They can also request extensions and get those extensions approved if the VOE takes longer than they thought it would. Ultimately, the CAPA will be closed. Let's close this flowchart and take a look at the information that you can enter at step 1, where most everything will be entered. I can click Act On to fill in the fields for step 1. Mandatory fields will be identified by an asterisk. I can choose a CAPA type of corrective action or preventative action. I can describe the problem that led to this CAPA and my investigation and action plan. This field is also able to be populated by quick text, which is a custom list of values if you'd like to choose some to standardize terminology. Otherwise, you can just type in your investigation and action plan and you've got 8,000 characters to do that. The next field is called Implement Sites. This is where you can choose the sites that are related to this CAPA. This is a list that you configure. So you can put in your manufacturing sites, any suppliers or CMOs, and you can even get creative and put things that are not sites, such as some examples I have here, like documentation or a regulatory submission. The next field is CAPA Source. Perhaps it was a deviation, a product complaint, a continuous improvement initiative, or if that doesn't apply, put not applicable. Next, we have a due date, and you can choose it from a handy calendar. The CAPA classifications are either critical, major, minor, or no impact. Your choice may impact the workflow in the flowchart that we looked at earlier. Here we have to choose a CAPA owner. This is a role that comes with the process app, as I mentioned, so it will only be populated by a list of people that perhaps are trained to be a CAPA owner. You then choose the reviewers for step 2, as I mentioned, from the list of people that you have given the CAPA reviewer role to. You can choose one or more, and it will go to all of them in parallel. And third, you pick your CAPA approver. Here you see a shorter list because I've only given this process role to certain people in QA who would be appropriate to approve steps in a CAPA. Here we have a probable root cause field where you can write in any root cause information related to this CAPA or not applicable if it doesn't apply. And I'll show you also that up at the top, if I had chosen corrective action, you would have more fields here, not only to identify the probable root cause, but to put in some root cause categories with the root cause analysis tool that is built into this CAPA process as well as our deviation process. So this has man, material, method, machine, environment, like the fishbone diagrams in that root cause analysis tool. And depending on which ones you pick, you will get next level lists for the root cause categories, and these are configurable by you. So you can put in the list of things that are appropriate for your organization for the next level of root cause analysis. Secondary tasks can be added to give people things to do to support the CAPA. So as many as you want can be added. You will name your secondary task. You can choose a task type of predisposition, post-disposition, or just leave it at task. Describe it, give it a due date, and in this case, give it to anyone in the organization that might be appropriate to be doing a task to support your CAPA. And you can choose them either by name or by their functional role. The Add button allows you to add as many secondary tasks as you may need. You can kick off a child process from this CAPA if that's appropriate. Clicking that brings up the available processes that you have deployed in your instance of QM10. You can choose one as either dependent or related and assign it to someone. And you can also initiate a document control process. On the right-hand side here, we also see that we could link a process that already happened and is in QM10, perhaps a deviation or a customer complaint that led to this CAPA. You can link documents and they will be always associated with this CAPA as related items. You have an audit trail and you have a nice summary report if you'd like to print out all of the information just related to this CAPA and have a neat report to either print or email. Speaking of reports, in our reports portal, we have some reports for the CAPA process. Let's take a look. Here you see the 6 reports that come with the CAPA process app. Let's just look at a couple. Here we see one called CAPA Current Step Listing. This will show us all of our active CAPAs that are in an active workflow, what step they're at, who has them, and how many days they've been open. Here's an example of a chart where you can enter any parameters that you'd like based on some of those fields you just saw with the information that I filled in at step 1, and you can see how many CAPAs you have over time. And there was also a monthly report and a yearly report. All of those will show you a graph. Let's go back to QM10. So now you've had a high-level overview of the flowchart, the information that you can enter at step 1 to define your CAPA, and a quick look at some of the reports that will be available to you for the CAPA. I hope that helped you see what the CAPA Process app can offer you. If you'd like more information, you can go to our knowledge base where you'll find the user guide for this CAPA process. Until next time, this is Gretchen Dixon, Product Specialist for SOLABS.